We was powers on this earth once, and we was all about the mirth once. Idol worship, murder like the first of the month. Hit a nigga with the bit like he need a light. That's what you do when you on fourth, or else you got a punt. But we ain't needed when we cry for Egypt flesh, nah. So it's Egypt that we got, and we hella mad. These crackers soaring off our shoulders like some helipads. They see our sweat, but they don't feel us like we holograms. I'll be damned, another black man shot again. They deflect and tell us we are on.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, who the world called Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, I call. Coming to you with a live for the Day of Atonement. And because it's the Day of Atonement, it's going to be brief, but I just want something for you to, want to give you something to fix your mind on while you think about why we are trying to atone for our sins, why we're in a state where we need more than ever to atone for our transgressions, make up for the transgressions that our forefathers committed, and the wickedness that we continue in and day out. We are on a path to repentance, so it's very important that we take this day seriously. Today we're going to be talking about how Jacob is exploited by these other nations. So as you're atoning for your sins, just think to yourself, do you want to continue to be exploited by your oppressor? Your lifestyle, the things that you go through, the curses that you face on a daily basis, they have taken it and they have packaged it and they have made it into something that they can appropriate for themselves. It's called hip hop culture, right? Meanwhile, we lack in culture, as some of you may remember from the last lesson that we had. But we lack in culture. And while we lack in culture, we trying to grapple something that is a watered down version of the things we actually experience in our lives. And we're dying for that. Right? But how y'all doing in the chat? I hope y'all having a good Day of Atonement so far. I hope y'all being blessed. How's my audio sounding before we begin? I'm just getting a little something ready for you guys real quick. We're going to get started. But how y'all doing today? All praises to the Most High. FAFO, Fuck Around and Find Out Foundation. You can get yours today at Bakar Co. if you like. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I appreciate you, family. How's your day going on that side? There go the link in the chat for the shirt right there. Get it at Bakar Co. FAFO. Fuck Around and Find Out. This is crazy. Salakia family for not being better prepared. I prepared a visual presentation for y'all to get you ready for today. 1 second. Shalom, shalom. Booyakasha, shalom. Any Q&A, there's always Q&A. Family, if you got questions, we got answers, we'll give them to you. If we don't, I'll let you know that I'm going to have to find out, and I'll find out for you. And Barak Shabbat to you too, brother. Barak Shabbat to you too. But what's your question? Anybody in the chat for that matter, what's your question? Questions in the chat. Can you drop the whole scripture you're referencing out and maybe rephrase the question? I was watching another camp video on man being made upright. How is this so if Adam was made from the being sold with evil seed? Second Ezra. Please drop the whole scripture so that we could look at it together. Shalom. Washim Yam Shai Barakatah. Sir Ariyah. How you living out? I'm gonna need another minute from y'all, family. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I'm gonna be right back. Meanwhile, Baba Shah, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. What you mean? On the road? I've been right in Dallas. I caught a respiratory infection last week though, so I had to postpone this live if that's what you mean. But I've been around, brother. Oh no, I'm not a truck driver. Nah, I don't do the truck driving. I've considered it though. I've considered the truck driving. Shalom, all praises to the Most High, but some else said word of thought. Again, I hope y'all Day of Atonement is going well. I hope it's been real reflective. Genesis 1 and 2, and God said, let there be light. You talking about the light before the sun? CBC. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. When you look at the Hebrew, it implies that all the materials, all the elements that we see before us, so they were carved out. So it went from being particles to being matter. And what we believe is that the Big Bang creation story kind of takes away from that and tries to oversimplify some things. But when you mesh the two together and line them up, what happens is you see that things were molded together, and they've actually been able to scientifically prove that there was a light that predates the sun. It's called background microwaves or background radio frequency. Pretty much light that still is emanating from the initial creation. So hopefully that answers your question. It's a form of light that you can't really see with the naked eye, but it is a frequency that you can find if you got the right equipment. Background radio waves or background radio frequency. Check that out, brother. Man, I feel bad. Look, I'm just gonna say Salakia. I know y'all didn't come here to watch a video presentation, but I know that helps. I wanted to show a few clips because I know y'all are aware of the various media outlets People utilize the YouTube and they make content about hip hop culture. Genesis 1. I'm gonna have to check that out. I like Sons of Thunder. Also, a question about the Sabbath, if Daniel 7:25. Let me pull up Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and abiding of times. So if Daniel 7:25 is true, how do we keep the Shabbat? Our calendar is based on the sun and Greek and Roman god worship. It's not based on the moon anymore. Well, the calendar that they give us isn't based on the moon, but what you got to do is just learn to look at the lunar cycle for yourself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lunar calendar app in the chat for you, and it'll tell you when the new moons are coming. You see, I'm going to put this in the chat, and then email me at fireofgodclassroom@gmail.com. I'll send you a copy of our calendar. I'll also put it in the community tab. So make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll put our calendar in the community tabs, and it'll tell you when the new moons are changing and the Sabbaths are going to be changing for the month. But yeah, you just don't want to rely on the Gregorian calendar at all. You don't want to rely on the one that they give you. You use that for all the worldly stuff that we have to endeavor to do, your doctor's appointments, so on and so forth. But you want to coordinate based off of what the moon will tell you, because you're absolutely right. He did seek to change times, and he's banking on people taking his word for it. You know, speaking of the devil, the Bible speaks of, he's banking on us taking his word for it, as opposed to just using the things that the Most High gave to us. So that's how we keep the Shabbat, as we look at the new moon. But not only that, if you look at the months that are listed, it's really based off of agriculture, like Abib, the month of Abib, that's talking about certain harvests. So when those things line up, it just reminds us that we're on point about what cycle that we're following. Yeah, we keep the lunar Shabbat. We keep the lunar Shabbat. All praises to the Most High. I'm about to put the calendar in the community tab now. We're gonna be updating it very soon, since the year's fixing to change. And then you can always join the school, and then you'll have brothers there to help you keep up with the feast too, as well, the feast and the new moons. But Akim, if you could check out the community tab, and you will see that the calendar's just been posted. If my phone stopped playing. So the lesser light is the moon. Because if you just look at the fact that the moon doesn't emit a light as harsh as the sun's light, that's what it's referring to about the lesser light. You know what I mean? Booyakasha. Run a school. FOG, we a small school. Fire of God, we a small school. We are a camp, is the better phrase for it. Brothers is more familiar with that phrase. And of course, you know, I can't do nothing but help the best way I can. That is what we are commanded to do. It's not optional. So I'm delighted to do the will of Yahweh. Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, Brother Booyakasha. Could that light be Yahushai in Genesis 1 and 2? You know, as far as what it could be and what it couldn't be, I try not to dally too much on that. You know, for me to teach it, it would be problematic. I like to carefully search out the things that I propagate. It is safe to say that Yahushai was created before anything else was, because the scriptures tell us so. You know. But any other questions in the chat, feel free to drop them in there, because that's what we are here for. How to upload this calendar one more time. Y'all, I can't see the chat right now, so just 1 second. Feel free to drop your questions in there, and I will answer them just shortly. All right, so the calendar's up. Let me know if you see it in the community tab. Do me that favor. Let me know if you see it. So, when the moon was created, was that new moon? As Esau changed the faces of the moon to SOT breakdown of Genesis is legendary. I would just say he created the moon. We don't really need to be concerned about what phase the moon was in. Was it when it was created? Because we wasn't even there until what day? And we wasn't commanded to keep the Shabbat until when we was brought up out of the land of Egypt. So by that time, we would know how to observe what's a new moon and what's not. And the way that I reckon that is because when you look at the Hebrew, it talks about a new moon. It's talking about a moon that's been shaved away. Shaved away implies that it's been caused to decrease. Watch this. Ain't none of my technology working. Are there multiple family of man? Hold on. A whole bunch of questions in here. Brother Psalm 17:15. I don't know what you mean by that. You said, are there multiple families of man, referring to Adam and his lineage? Because as of right now, everybody sinned from Adam in the beginning, there was every living creature that was created, and then you had Adam that was selected up out of that. So there was multiple families of man. Now there's everybody that descends from the Edomites, and then you have the chosen lineage that's within that, brother. Psalm 17:15. Hopefully that helps answer your question. So where's that brother's question there? Where's Booyakasha? So, brother Booyakasha, the scripture that you want to look at for what I was talking about is Sirach 43:7. It says, "From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection." So as she perfects, she decreases. When you're perfect, you're full, you're complete. Let me get the blue letter Bible out real quick and show you something. It's an old lexicon I like in there. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. I want you to see this. So we're just gonna go here. And where we at right now is 1 Samuel. Behold, tomorrow is the new moon. The Chodesh, right? New moon. So now we're going to go look and define it culturally. It's important that when you look at these definitions, you get a cultural backdrop so you understand how they look at things. New moon, a day of the new moon, lunar month, which was a festival in ancient Hebrews. Destroy the moon, beginning of the new moon. That's not what I want. Let me see. I want the definition of new. So here we go. I don't know why. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time. Share screen. So check this out. So this is the moon decreasing in the perfection. So we know that as it's looking more and more like this, it's decreasing and it's ramping up to what's the new moon. So at the full moon, peace, new moon, ramp. That's not what I want. Renew, repair, to restore, rebuild, straight. This is what I want right here. So you see this right here where I'm about to highlight. So like the sharp edge of a blade, we see the silver light that renews the face of the new moon. This was the way our hearts renewed. But the reason that I'm pulling this up is because there's definitions of that word Hodesh that I showed you, where it'll tell you that the new moon is referring to the shaving down of the moon. So you're renewing it, like you're polishing it. So like you're on that. Who else got questions in the chat? What's up with the Ak, who's ex-Sakari member, Mr. Gad, leader of Zealots of Israel Ministries? Man, Sir Ariya, I can't even call it. You know, it's sad what happened to that brother because he was wielding a lot of power, and to be honest, he was bringing a lot of information out for the sake of the Most High, but he just makes examples out of some people, brother. That's all I can say. I wish it was different, but we see that the Most High he'll lift you up and then he'll bug you out. You need something like what, brother? You're wrong. Maybe I can help you out with that. But yeah, he's definitely still trashing all the camps. He's become obsessed. He's become obsessed with the things that he shouldn't be obsessed with. He's lost sight of what the Most High was trying to use him for. And you know, I would just say remain circumspect of those that surround you, because we saw it coming. Certain warnings were given, and then lo and behold, these things started to take place. We should just pray for the brother that the Most High straightens his mind back out again. And then brother, Psalm 17:15, I want to know if I was already able to answer your question about multiple families of men. I did give you the description that everybody descends from Adam, and now there's a chosen line of people now. If that was sufficient for you, let me know. And then, you know, you don't gotta, no need for forgiveness, brother. You good. You can ask whatever you want. You know, bloodline Israelite Shalom. Shalom, I see that y'all was trying to work it thought. The bloodline Israelite said the Edomites are building their new kingdom in Saudi Arabia, worth 500 billion, called Neom, near Petra in the ancient Edomite area. Look up Neom, please. I might have to end up doing that. Sounds interesting. All praises. I'm glad you see the calendar, brother. You're all. The Sakari Zealots. Yeah, you was watching the old school Sakari, huh? That's how I came in the truth, the old school Sakari channel. But yeah, it kind of just, that all kind of just came tumbling down real quick, unfortunately. But y'all see the thumbnail of the video. Let me ask y'all this. What do you know about Adam 22 and the No Jumper Show? What do y'all know about Adam 22 and the No Jumper Show? Because I want to make sure I'm starting this class off on the right foot, since I don't have my video presentation for y'all. Yeah, he's definitely a devil. You see how he recently paid a Jake to have sex with his wife. Now he's mad at Jake. That's sick. It's sick. But that's the inspiration of today's lesson, is that, you know, the white men in all these nations, they just get you as entertainment. And I really wanted to emphasize that with the video footage, because, you know, all the way back from the rise of gangster rap, they've been just captivated by what goes on in the hood, and they treat the hood by way of music videos, video documentaries like American Pimp. They treat it like a chance to visit a fucking safari, like a safari expedition. And there are various names that have made their bread and butter on talking about what goes in the hood, like they're watching wildlife. Like just imagine a crocodile hunter in the hood running up on some crackheads in somebody's back alley. You know, look how she's giving up the head in the back alley for a little bit of rock, and it's entertainment for them. But you know, we have learned to laugh at our pain so much that we've kind of given them the insight. And I'm not saying don't have your entertainment. You know, you can't not make your reality known, but don't think because these crackers is watching you, don't think because they're embracing what they see on TV and you know laughing at it like you do. Understand they're laughing at it for different reasons. They're laughing at it because you're a joke. You're laughing at it because you're dealing with uh you need a means to cope with what's been real for so long. It's called hysteria. And what's happening now is that the new generation coming in some ways, they're detached from some of the old school forms of the culture. And in other ways, there's new forms of the culture that's just as toxic, and they're connected to that. But we have to, at some point, take ourselves serious enough to unplug from what Esau got going on and stop allowing him to step up onto our backs and use our backs as a pedestal. Instead, we should be doing this. This is what we should be doing. We should be telling them, look, you want to know what it's like, fuck around and find out. We should have that mentality towards them. It shouldn't be a laughing matter. You know, they shouldn't be able to come to our communities and talk about, oh, that's ghetto and oh, uh, that's ratchet and shit like that. You know, you don't know. You don't share in that experience. There's beautiful things in the ghetto and there's ugly things in the ghetto. There's certain things that's ratchet that I love and there's certain things that's ratchet that I can't stand. Right. And we have to learn to stop going on their platforms and clowning and cooning and shucking and jiving for clout. Because what they're saying, what they're basically doing is saying, okay, I heard the hood is like this safari. I heard that around every corner you go, there's somebody holding an AK-47 ready to shoot you because you're a op, he's a op, and all niggas is ops against each other. That's what they want to hear. And then we go on their shows and then we feed into it. And what I have for you was clips prepared like VladTv. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of VladTv. You see Lil Baby on there. You see, oh man, maybe I do still have the video footage, but you have people like Sue Surf on there, certain certain rappers on there who might have been down in the streets or whatnot. He's asking them all kind of questions, and if you know VladTv, there's been people who've been locked up because they go on these interviews and he's asking them these questions to, you know, basically see, are you about that life that you rap about? Because that's what's entertaining and that's what's impressive to these crackers. And then niggas want to get the clout so bad that they end up confessing that they was a part of something that they ought not. And as you can imagine, after that, they wind up behind bars. That's how bad we want to be famous. And that's a problem. So that's what today's warning is about. I can't stand VladTv. It's another one I wanted to show y'all that was cold though. It's this white boy named Vlad, and he's out in St. Louis somewhere where I'm planning to visit real soon. He's out in St. Louis, supposedly riding through the most dangerous hills of St. Louis, and he's just rolling up on random black folks like, you know, do you know where such and such is? Do you know, do you know where this person's at? Do you know where this block is at? And they looking at him like he's crazy. But his whole point of doing this is because he's now searching for clout and he's trying to participate in the drill scene. The drill music is all about run down on an op, walk your enemy down, shoot them up, bang, bang, all that cowboys and Indian shit that's been revised and remodeled for this modern age and so-called urban culture. He's trying to break into that. So now he's calling himself running down on so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Shalom, shalom, El Gallo. Shema Mashiach, El Shabarakatah. Good to have you. And make sure y'all like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, that's what he's doing. And there's a clip where he's rolling through somebody's hood, and then he has a whole bunch of Little Caesars pizza, dirt free. Shalom, brother, shalom. He's pulling up in somebody's neighborhood, and he has a whole bunch of Little Caesars pizza, and he's handing pizza out the window, and he's asking them, "You seen so and so? You seen so and so?" You know, and he's playing a game like he's feeding ducks at a lake, and you would be offended. I was kind of hoping that would be the case, just to refresh your energy. That while you fasting and while you weaken from not being able to eat the way that you're accustomed to, be strengthened in knowing that if the Most High, if He does forgive you for your transgressions, you gonna get to participate in this event where the Israelites get to put boot to ass, and we get to really put our feet up the enemy's ass. The enemy meaning the Edomite man, and all these nations that have brought us into captivity, who've exploited us, who brought us on their channels, who've degraded our women, who've profited on us degrading our women. And we get to put an end on the bullshit that we doing to our own people, right? We get to be a part of that and play a major role. And that's my hope, you know, from coming back to Seattle from Atlanta, leaving alone the music industry, seeing all the wicked homosexuality and weird clique shit that was going on, and that coming back to Seattle and thinking to myself, I just want to settle down and live a calm life with my rib. I don't want to be a part of this weird ass scene anymore, to stumbling on the truth and figuring out, oh shit, I gotta be out on these streets, from doing dirt on the streets of Seattle, you know, doing things I not, to going back out on them same streets to give back. You know, it's giving me, and it's giving so many other brothers an insight who've been able to do the same thing, that yeah, we have to be the change that we want to see. If we want to see brothers not cooning anymore on TV, we have to be the ones that's not willing to coon, so that when we're standing outside telling them, look, this is the way, they're not able to look back at us and say, but look at the hypocrisy. Because that's what we're accustomed to our pastors doing, right? We're accustomed to the people telling us to do better that don't do better, you know? And that's what we don't want anymore. We don't want the bullshit. So we got to stand against it vehemently. I'm going to go and pull a scripture real quick. I'm sure y'all familiar with this one. We about to get Psalms 137. Let me share my screen with you guys. Psalms 137 and 3. It says, for they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. Who knows what mirth is? Who knows what mirth is? That's damn right. They want to be a raccoon for 22. For that faggot ass devil. But who knows what mirth is? You know, mirth is, it's this sense of happiness and joy, and it's the root of what foolery and fuckery comes from. The scriptures tell us that the wise man's heart, the wise man, he's in the house of mourning, right? Because ignorance is bliss, right? They want us to pretend like everything is all good. They want us to laugh, joke, sing, dance, and entertain them. And they want us to hide our pain so that white fragility isn't shaken up. But in reality, it's a time for mourning. And we should never forget that. The way that they never want to forget 9/11 in Texas, how they never want to forget the Alamo. We should never forget how millions had to die. Millions were jettisoned off of cargo ships so the boat wouldn't sink, just so that few in contrast can make it here and be slaves to these demons, right? And we should never forget that that happened because what? Because we sinned, because we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And it sounds harsh, but if we look at Deuteronomy 30, which we will, it tells us that the key to us coming up out of this captivity is coming to that very realization. So I'm gonna share my screen again. Share my screen again. And let me know if them letters is too small too, family. Let me know. But it says, it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind. Call them to mind, meaning you're supposed to remember this shit. Among all the nations where we're scattered, the home of the free and the home of the brave. It don't matter if it's there, if it's Portugal, if it's it don't matter if it's Brazil, it don't matter if it's Mexico. We supposed to remember the curses, and we supposed to remember that it was things that we did so that those curses could come upon us. So forgetting it is to our detriment. We supposed to be in the state of mourning. We rejoice at the fact that we can repent because of what Yahweh did, what the Most High did by giving His Son for us. But it's not a light thing. And we got to learn to take ourselves a lot more seriously. That's my message for brothers and sisters today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so that whoever's not here now could get here and get this edification. Let me see. Well, Yakishan said, man, they want us to remember. They want us to remember the 5th of November and remember the ideas of March, but we're supposed to forget our true history and heritage. Exactly. And who was here for the last live? Who remembers the term the term I gave y'all? What they call that when you strip somebody of their culture, try to force them to forget it. Who remembers what that term is called? Because it's important. Because now what we're doing, it seems like we're delving more into our culture and showing them and that they're exploiting it. But really what it is we're forgetting who we actually are, and we're remembering who they want us to be. Because all of us ain't from the streets, but we feel like we got to talk about street shit in order to be accepted by us, be accepted by them, because it's like hiding behind a pseudo masculinity. And speaking of pseudo masculinity, the next live, we're going to go into how the red pill, that shit is tanking. All praises to the Most High. The manosphere is tanking. All praises to the Most High. We're going to go into that next week. So make sure that y'all hear cognitive dissonance. Yes. But the cognitive dissonance is it's a symptom. The term we're looking for is ethnocide, when they take somebody's culture. When you take somebody's culture, it's called ethnocide. When you commit ethnocide, it creates things like emotional dysregulation. It causes things like cognitive dissonance, especially when you're introducing many other cultures, because now you're having to live in them different realities when neither one of them is you. But that's good. I'm glad you recollect the cognitive dissonance aspect, because it speaks to what we're talking about today. We're dealing with cognitive dissonance when we know these people brought us on slave ships. We know these people never gave a damn about us. Now all of a sudden they embracing us. It's got to be something to it, right? Like what's that one Amalekite's name? His name is Ari, and they were interviewing him on the Breakfast Club, and he said he knows the music we make is toxic, but he got mouths to feed. So there's always an end that they're trying to reach, but never think that it's love. They don't love you. I'll tell you who do love you. The Most High love you. Yahweh Shai love you. Your brothers at Fire of God love you. Your brothers at the Sakari love you. Somebody talked about SOT. Your brothers at SOT love you. Talk about IUIC. Your brothers at IUIC love you. There's going to be some flaws in there somewhere. But what we got to remember is that there ain't no bigger enemy than, one, the devil the Bible speaks of, and the flesh that wants you to side with the enemy. All right? So this ain't nothing but something to punch you in the nose with and wake your shit up so that when you're fasting, you remember what the whole point is behind this whole thing. It ain't just about not eating because the Most High wants your tummy to hurt a little bit. It's because he wants you to what? When you come to serve the Lord, you're supposed to prepare what for temptation? I know y'all know it. Y'all supposed to prepare what for temptation? You're supposed to prepare your soul for temptation. Y'all gonna have to be quicker on the draw than that. Okay? But look, let me read this to you. He hath builded against me and compassed me with gall and travail. He hath set me in dark places as they that be dead of old. That's like the grave, right? He hath hedged me about that I cannot get out. He hath made my chain heavy. Also, when I cry and shout, he shutteth out my prayer. Who does that? You got to get back on the plantation. I understand, bro. Most High bless you. Always tap in when you can, brother. It's always good to see you in the chat. And you damn right, brother El Gallo, they circling the toilet drain. But look here, though. This is the objective. This is going to tell you the objective. We're preparing our soul for temptation because, well, the devil, he's in charge of the temptation, right? Think about the story of Job. You had the devil, he was in charge of the temptation for what purpose? To prove Job. Prove Job to who, though? And the answer is the Most High. So this is about preparing our souls for temptation so that we could please the Most High, because it says that the carnal mind is enmity against God. The carnal man can't please God because he's not subject to the law of God. So that's what this day is all about, is taming your flesh. He hath enclosed my ways with hewn stone. He hath made my paths crooked. He was unto me as a bear lying in wait, and as a lion in secret places. He hath turned aside my ways and pulled me in pieces. He hath made me desolate. He hath bent his bow and set me as a mark for the arrow. That's cold. He told you to run. And then he hath caused the arrows of his quiver to enter into my reins, into my heart. I was a derision to all my people in their song all the day. So this is code, is because this is talking on our experience. See, when we look at Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, we're talking about the curses from the outside, trying to imagine what it's looking like on the inside, because we're in such a degree at that time where we're being protected by the Most High. We just got through seeing all kind of miracles, so we're ready to say Khan, and yeah, we're going to keep the commandments, but this is talking about inside the curses. It says, I'm going to read that again. It says, I was a derision to all my people in their song all the day. What does that mean? Our own people make a mockery. And we make songs about it because we're talking about the drill scene. And we're talking about how the white man is, he wants to be he just wants to be a part of the culture so bad. And as Adam 2:22 put it, if I find a video presentation, I'm just going to release it for you guys regardless. But as Adam 22 put it, people just want to be a part of cool rap shit. But it's a problem that it's cool rap shit for a brother to say, oh, we killed the nigga. We made his mama cry, thinking of some 21 Savage lyrics, CJ Key, Shalom, Mark Shalom, but some of my shit, yo, Shai Brakatah. We made his mama cry. You know, that's things that we mock each other about. These are in lyrics, and brothers is getting locked up behind stupid ass lyrics like these because that's what the demand is. We want to hear about niggas killing niggas. We want to hear about Hispanic man killing Hispanic man. We want to hear about the gang wars. You know, when I think about songs where we talking about making people's mama cry, you know, I tell you guys how I like, you know, I be listening to Mozzie. He had this song, man, it's called Take It Up With God. And, you know, when I'm in a little spell, I always listen to it when I'm feeling a little too reflective on the old paths. The lyrics go, I hug my nigga mama when he cried. And, you know, as you can imagine, he's talking about what it was like to hug his homeboy's mama and how, like, he didn't know what to say to her. She just cried and she cried. He ain't coming back. You got to take it up with God. Them lyrics hit me so hard every time because, you know, it's like we feel it when it's real close to us, but we just too detached from each other to where now, you know, we're fulfilling this prophecy. I was a derision to all my people, and their song all the day is lyrics making fun of how niggas is getting killed for being on one side of town versus another, or being from one side of town, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Meanwhile, the white man is making money off of all of it. So the death factory that we're the workers in, just like any other factory, he's sitting up top in that box watching the production. They make money from our tears, you're damn right. He hath filled me with bitterness. He hath made me drunken with wormwood. And that's really what we're facing. So as you fast today, Akim, fast knowing that, you know, the Most High needs to forgive us. And it ain't just going to happen overnight. But how about this? We walk that straight path even better the next year around. The days coming after this, so that there's not as much for us to atone for. Let that be our mentality. Because it can't be like what our forefathers do. Like, I'm going to just go off and then I'm going to be able to atone for it with a ram. I'm going to be able to atone for it with an ox. Because it was coming to the point where niggas would buy a sheep in advance. Like, I know I'm about to go commit some adultery, so let me just put the bread up now. Lord, forgive me for what I'm about to do. Shit like that. That's all. So let's have a mindset that we're gonna try to not build up again those old works, that old body of works that Paul talked about. We're gonna go next to Lamentation chapter 2. Lamentation chapter 2, verse 1. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with the cloud in his anger? See, we're cursed because we wasn't grateful to the Most High for everything that we could have asked for, and now we're in a place where we're covered with a dark cloud. You know, not ain't no sunshine when she's gone, but ain't no sunshine when she's here either. That's how bad Israel's doing. You know, that's why, you know, brothers and sisters is bouncing from sexual partner to sexual partner, doing all kind of madness on any given day, trying to mask the pain. And what's the white man do? He's profiting off of that. Because you make the songs about how you're bouncing from sexual partner to sexual partner. You make the songs about how you popping Plan B like it's goddamn candy. You making the songs about how you're a fucking heroin addict, drinking all the damn lean that's out. That shit's heroin. And the white man's profiting off of it because a dark cloud is covering our people. And cast down from heaven into the earth the beauty of Israel, and remember not his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord hath swallowed up the habitations of Jacob and have not pitied. And he told us that's what was going to happen. He told us damn well that that's what was going to happen. So here we are, you know, having feast day, or not even feast days, but days like this among our enemies, where we have to afflict our souls and do what Deuteronomy 30 said and call to mind the wicked way that we came from, and then dare not turn back down that path. Booyakasha said, Tupac got lyric to stay with me forever. I'm tired of poor. I'm tired of poor, and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Yeah, that's cold. Bring that shit out, because there's nothing glorified about that. But now, look, these youngsters is throwing old ladies in dumpsters, stealing granny's purse and shit like that. That ain't cool. That is not cool. And it just goes to show you that we're not a community. We're a habitat. We live in real animalistic. Be right back. But yeah, that's a cold lyric, man. Look, I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. Make sure if y'all got questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Just wanted to be brief and just give y'all something to think on. Do my part. Ezekiel 22:4. Thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed. And what did the Most High say about when you defile the land with blood? It says that blood can't be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed it. So you better believe that came full circle. It says, thou art guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed, and hast defiled thyself in thine idols which thou hast made. And thou hast caused thy days to draw near, and art come even unto thy years. Therefore have I made thee a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all countries. Those that be near and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which are infamous and much vexed. And so we can see this. How many of y'all seen the commercial? How many of y'all seen the Chinese commercial where the black man got in the dishwasher? This Asian woman put a black man in the dishwasher or some shit like that, or in the washing machine, and she poured this soap in there, and he came out as a Asian man or a white man or some shit like that. Who's seen that? I'm gonna try to find it. Let's see if this shit come on. Oh yeah, I don't get a load of this. Look at this. Y'all see it? And with that, you know what I'm saying, you see what happens when we roll around in our sin the way that Pigs rolling around in mud. What happens when we hate each other so much that it's a whole genre of music based off of it? This is what we get as a reward. We think what we're getting as a reward is the white man patting us on the back saying, "Good job, nigga." But this is really what we're getting. Yeah, man. It's some cold shit. So it make it even realer when we look at the scriptures. And it tells us that those that be near and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which are infamous and much vexed. And we're much vexed, as if it's not enough the shit that we got to deal with right here in good old fashioned America. You know, we got to deal with the fact that before we leave the country, people already have a notion about who we are. And we feed into a lot of that notion with what we contribute. Our contributions, some of those being the shit that we say in our music and the shit we do in popular culture. Shalom, William Fields Jr., Shalom, how you living? It's cold. But who can we blame? We can't blame the Most High. We can blame the white man as much as we want, but at some point it comes back to we have to reflect on the things that we did to get here, and we got to teach our children, and we got to be the changes that we want to see in our community so that these things can finally stop. Because that's a promise. And then these curses could go on our enemies. Look at this. Just further in what we just read about in Ezekiel. We're going backwards a little bit. It says, Ezekiel 7:23-24, it says, make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Wherefore, I will bring the worst of the heathen. Let's just stop right there. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes. You know what I'm saying? He's saying we're going to yellow tape this whole city because it's full of bloody crimes. Ain't that crazy? He knew the type of scenery we was going to be leaving behind, shedding blood in the lands that we go to, and we're just continuing it. We fill the places where we live with the blood of each other, and we wonder why we just can't seem to get ahead. And it ain't got to be nothing spooky. As if you kill your allies, you ain't gonna have none. You know what I'm saying? Brother El Gallo said, I've been hearing Moab mocking us a lot more lately. That's why destruction will be on them soon. Yeah, they will. Destruction will be on them very soon. All praises to the Most High. But it says, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make their pomp of the strong to cease, and the holy places shall be defiled. The worst of the heathen is, I'm pretty sure y'all guessed it, talking about Esau. If our land wasn't full of violence to begin with, he wouldn't have sent heathen to come and shed our blood and then fill our land with more violence. That's the moral of the story. Right? So it's in our hands now. So, I want you guys to finish your day of atonement, do your fast, make sure you're praying, make sure you're talking to the Most High today. If you have the ability to be at home, make sure that you're able to think on what you could do to contribute. That's my ask of you, brothers. And you sisters that may be watching, is that, you just really take this time to reflect. Especially if you want this. Let me show you something. Because here's what we're trying to get. We're just a part of it. It says, praise ye Yahweh. Sing unto Yahweh a new song. Okay. And this is the book of Psalms 149. And we just reading from 1 through 9 in case you ain't know. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and in his praise in the congregation of his saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name and dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. I'm trying to see my brothers and my sisters beautified with salvation. Trying to see us go from poor to rich. Even those of us who have accumulated some type of wealth here in Babylon, I want to see you ascend to greater heights and cast a shadow over your enemy. Leave his ass in the dark for once. Have him licking up the crumbs for once. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for our sons and daughters and nieces and nephews. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. When's the last time, outside of when you was having some good sex, that you sang aloud upon your bed? Because I know damn sure it wasn't when you was about to get up for work yesterday, this morning. You sitting on the edge of the bed, lacing your boots up. I know damn well that ain't me in the morning. I'm in a state of mourning when I got to get up and I got to figure out how to please the enemy so that I'm getting good reviews when I'm doing jobs for them just to make minimal crumbs. When I'm about to go out and make sales and, accumulate a lot of riches for somebody else, I'm thinking about how my back beat to shit. I'm thinking about how my forefathers laid their life down in fields to build this place up and how we can't even get free housing for that sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's the same for y'all. I know y'all ain't waking up singing on the edge of your bed. But this says, let the saints be joyful in glory and let them sing aloud upon their beds. I want to live in a world where I'm waking up and singing on my damn bed. I'm not no singer. Unless it's shower time or unless I'm just trying to serenade my beautiful wife. But I'm not no singer like that. I'm not feeling like that when I wake up in the morning. It says, let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. That's talking about some Conan shit, but you like, but and you just slicing heads off in the name of the Most High. That's getting get back. We deserve that. Only if we do the things that we ought to do in order to get it, which is repent, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, reflect on the things that we did wrong. Look at the things that we could do better, on the Day of Atonement, and then go and execute the days after. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor, not shame, this honor hath all the saints. Praise ye Yahweh. That's what I want for y'all, brothers and sisters. So, as you close out your Day of Atonement, be grateful to the Most High that he gave us such a day, with us being the people that we are, coming from the lineage that we do. We great, but we great at being wicked also. All right, so we want to thank the Most High for his mercy, for this Day of Atonement. And, that's all I got for you, brothers and sisters. I'm going to give you a few minutes to drop your questions. Drop your questions in the chat if you got questions. And I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Brother Dirt Freeze, I appreciate you, man. This was my wife's idea. All praises to the Most High for y'all. I just had to come and execute the design, but this was her idea. I said, okay, you're a genius. So if you want yours, you could definitely stop by Bacarco and grab you one. Fire emojis in the chat if you want the link. But drop your questions in the chat. if you got questions, because I'm going to answer those before I go and finish my Day of Atonement. They're going to link in the chat right there. All manner of goods on that website. Obviously, you want to wait till after the Day of Atonement to make your purchase. If you want to serve alongside the brothers at Fire of God, hit us up at fireofgodclassroom@gmail.com. We'll get you right into the courses. We'll get you learning hands-on, get your sword sharp, get you right where you need to be. That's a promise. That's a promise, family. Hit us up. Do the work with Fire of God. Because, look, we need help. And if you know any ops out there for the Israelites, please send them our way, because I'm looking to line some debates up, catch some spiritual fades. It's getting harder than ever to catch any spiritual fades because of the brothers at the Sakari. They done bodied everybody. Now they scared to talk to Israelites worth they sweat. So that's unfortunate, but you know, we're trying to get that going too. So if you know any ops, anybody that is interested in the information about the Israelites, but maybe they're a little skeptical, you know, hit that email so we can have a discussion. It don't gotta be a debate. We can get the edification. Brothers is not beyond that. You know, that's brothers' pleasure is to edify in this truth. But if there ain't no questions, then you know what? Forget y'all. It's like I'm playing. If it ain't no questions, we're going to close out with that. We're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, B'Shem, Mashiach, Yahushua, and say Shalom.
Shalom, this is my brother Britton with Britton Oils and Fragrances. Right, this is your brother Ashton Paul. Come get with my brother Britton. We got the fire oils and fragrances. He's a good brother. You know, at Fire God, we support black and brown businesses. We got to build ourselves up. Farm Yasharala, right? Where can they find you at, Britton?
Hey, come down here to Deep Ellum. We here on Saturdays from 12 to 6 every Saturday. We got the body oils, the black soaps, the shea butters, the burning oils. Don't forget, we don't step on it, we stand on it. Big shout out to everybody that's supporting us on Facebook, Instagram, any type of social media. Big shout out to Fire God. Love you guys.
Hey, and my favorite is the frankincense and myrrh, right? Best one I've smelled so far out of any company I've shopped with. It don't matter if it's on Amazon. Look, he got it. And the prices is on point too.
We was powers on this earth once, and we was all about the mirth once. Idol worship, murder, like the first of the month. Hit a nigga with the bick like he need a light. That's what you do when you on fourth, or else you got a punt. But we ain't needed when we cry for Egypt flesh, nah. So it's Egypt that we got, and we hella mad. These crackers soaring off our shoulders like some helipads. And see our sweat, but they don't feel us like we holograms. I'll be damned, another black man shot again. They deflect and tell us we are on.